What I make you? Good? You're not good. You just know how to hide.
All right, man. You already know what it is. Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. And we are back. We are back. Happy Saturday night to everybody that's in here. I'm going to give y'all a second. Let y'all pile up in. Wicked Scorpion, salute. Necromonican. All right. Salute. Mitch Connor, salute. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. Now, give me a second. Let me get set up. If music's too loud, let me know. Sometimes I don't know. M. King said, been watching you for a hot minute, man. You're part of my daily routine. Appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. Please believe it. PGA just made it. Poker Face, what up, bro? What's good, though? To anybody, y'all just getting in here. If I miss a comment, forgive me. If I miss a comment, forgive me. When I start talking, I'm not reading the comments. And then by the time I get done talking, it's been hundreds and hundreds of comments. So I don't want anybody to ever think like that. I know, bro. So if I see you, I'm going to acknowledge you. Shout out to Adam Chewy, man. He hit me up the other day and said, Adam's a viewer, and he became a friend of mine for years now. And he hit me up the other day and said, why you ain't going live? So this one's for you, Adam. G. Wilson said, love the channel, bro. Appreciate it. So loud. So, Jay, much respect from the Boondocks of North Carolina. Much love to you, NC. Playing Warzone, you a gamer? Yeah, I game. I play Warzone. I play a lot of stuff. Dead by Daylight. Troy Henderson said, I watch you and see Bill. You're an inspiration to the youth. Appreciate that. Shout out to Bill, man. That's my guy. Love Meat said, and we back. Much love, Jay. Been watching you for a few years now. Like the big homie I never had. And that's who I am. Veronica Salazar checking in from New Mexico. It's a lot of comments. This is what I'm talking about. It's a lot of comments. Fast. All right, Adam. You want Banky? My favorite. Banky's my guy, man. That's my guy. We become good friends over the years. Change the music real quick. Get back to the comments. Definitely always ends bad. David said, I gotta go. I don't like the background. It's disturbing. It does not take much to disturb you. Doherty said, I just told my girl, hold up, Jay is live. No, I didn't tattoo on my last bid. Chris Visme said, Jay, did you do tattoos on your last bid too? Any stories? No. They were jumping. Everybody got real big into doing the skeleton hands, where you like put the bones in your hands and tattoo everything black. Nah. Dylon. Appreciate you, Toshi. I don't know how to say your name. I ain't gonna mess it up, but I appreciate you. Terry Brown, Alaskan born, said, buried my 81-year-old mom today. I need this content for my dude. Damn, I'm sorry to hear that, man. And I've been struggling with this, right? Because I would say, a lot of people would say 81's a good life. For me, that's, and you know, rest in peace to her. Much love to her. My heart goes out to you and the family. But for 81, as I get older, 81 just don't seem old enough for me. Like, I don't want to be so old that, like, people having to change me and do all that. I'm not, or I don't understand what's going on around me. I don't want to be that old to where I'm not, you know, the quality of my life has diminished. But I hope at 81 still be thriving. I really do, man. Age is a thing that's like that I've really been paying attention to lately. And when I say that, I mean just like, especially when you see somebody you grew up watching, right? And you see it in the news, you see they passed away, and you see their age, and you think back to how you knew them, right? That's what's really letting me get old. Is like everything I grew up on. As I look back on it now, I see a clip of it. If they've gotten old, I've gotten old, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful, man. You two streets in the house. Shout out to my guy Plug. We got another UK inmate that does it seem like the United Kingdom handles business better than the United States when it comes to prison. I don't know. I couldn't speak on the UK, but the UK dudes do get it in, man. They do get it in. They're big on that knife play. They're big on that knife play in the streets. Like if I'm correct, it's like you're more likely to get somebody run up on you with a knife before they with a pistol. So the knives, a lot of these guys here, they traded in their pistols for a knife. Them dudes over there are going from knife to knife. So he said, does the skeleton hand cover a knuck check? Is that the point? Besides just being awesome. Look, I've done them in the past, and my hands are done, but I didn't get all up in the cuticles. And when you're doing that skeleton hand, like you're getting all up in the web of the hand, I'm talking about you're going all the way up to the cuticle. That shit is next. I've seen the biggest, baddest dudes be holding their wrist, trying not to like dudes tap out, take 3 or 4 sessions to do it. Facts. Taveda said, looks like you lost a few pounds, Jay. These past few days have been rough. I got back into drinking some sodas, man. Trying to kick all that. My biggest things with 2026, not a resolution, right? It's just, I guess it is a resolution. Yeah, it's a resolution. I wanted to drop some pounds. Like at the time when 2026 came in, I was like, I think I was borderline 220. And now I'm down to like 195, which is good. You know what I mean? Like, goes back to the whole getting old thing. But yeah, I'm down to like I think I'm 195 now, which is a good weight for me. And the second thing is not letting people piss me off, not letting people make me mad, make me angry. I thought I'd forgiven a lot of people, right? But then when you think about them, the shit just infuriates you. You realize you really ain't forgiven them. You ain't let it go. But I'm one of those people. I've come to realize this about me, right? And this is who I am. I've got to let it go or I'm going to go. Those are the only 2 options I have. There is no in between. So when it comes to feuds, beefs, any type of bad feelings with people, I've got to let it go. If not, then I'm going to go. I'm going to act on it. I don't go out pursuing it, but I know me. And that's a problem I've had my whole life. So I'm really focusing on just letting shit go, man. Mr. Esco said, Jay, I watch your videos so much. My 2-year-old son hums the intro. Salute. I appreciate it. I've had people send me videos of their kids going da 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 da. I've had a true story. I was in traffic one time. I still had the Hummer this time, and the Hummer had the 15-inch Sundowns in the back. Then everything else was Rockford Fallscape throughout it, right? Big into the audio. And so I've got my music playing, and somebody pulls up beside me, and I start hearing like the trunk rattle. So I turn it down to hear what it is. And dude had put my video on and kept like hitting the button to go back so I could hear the intro again. And that's all I heard was la da 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 da. And dude just like did the salute. Cool people, man. Yeah, see, Timothy Draper said no gunplay in the UK on the most part. There's another dude, what is his name? Simon Gittins, that's in my comments a lot. He's commenting here. He's over on TikTok. He's from the UK. And I seen he had shared something out where he was like, somebody needs to do something about the knife violence. Like what we have with gun violence, they have with knives, which I think is like, the gun aspect is a lot more crazy because you just let off shots, right? So that's where we get all the randoms out here where people just get hit with bullets that weren't meant for them. Over there, they're running up on you with a blade. Like, I don't know which one I'd rather have. I don't know. Probably the blade if it was really sharp, but if it's a dull ass blade, it's like feels like I'm getting stabbed with a broomstick. Like, no, I'll take the bullet. I'll take the bullet. Jay, what did you do without your hats in prison? I had beanies. I get a beanie, tie a t-shirt around my head. But yeah, I always kept a beanie on. Kept that orange beanie. Katana said, I feel like he said he has like 200 plus hats or maybe shoes. I gave a bunch of hats away recently, shipped some to a viewer. So I'd say, yeah, it's about 200 right now. It's about 200. Shoes, my shoe game's not what it used to be. I downsized on a lot of the shoes. A lot of my homeboys, I got other homeboys right now that got massive shoe collections that are starting to get rid of them because it's just like, when you're younger, it seems cool. It's cool to have, 250 pair of shoes. But then when you get older, it's like, this shit's in the way. And then you're keeping the boxes that they go in. You're never wearing them. Like, you're not going to ever wear them. So I'd say now when it comes to shoes, I'm probably around 40 pair. 40, maybe 50. Facts, when Strange the Fiction said, salute Jay, hope you and the family are doing well. Getting old sucks. Hey, salute and appreciate you. Yeah, everybody's good. There's my dude. Southside Frog, man. This is my homeboy since I've known Frog since 93. Can't sound the voice inside my head. They say things like Burger King, fuck out of here. What up with you though? I remember you saying you was an alcoholic. Would you say prison played a role in you stopping drinking? No, my family played a role in me stopping drinking. Like when you get to a crossroad where it's like you have to pick. You have to pick. It's like, am I gonna put this before my family? Am I gonna be a hypocrite to the world? Like, or am I gonna stand on business, man, and not be a bitch? I mean, like, not be a bitch, not let something control me. Is it hard? Yeah, there's times where it still gets hard. But no, it's my family did that. Like when it boils down to it, it's like I'm end up losing my kids, losing my wife, and then you want to be sneaky with it, and then all that does is make you look like a liar, like you can't be trusted. So no, my family, they're my reason for everything. What can I say? Me and my son are going to the circus tomorrow. So that's going to be cool. You know what I mean? Like I said, that when it comes down to it, my family they're worth more to me than anything, whether it be drinking, YouTube, social media, friends, family. When I say family, I mean outside this house. The ones under this roof are my world. See, it's so many comments, man. So many comments. I said, you ever had braids? No, I never did that. I never did the braids. I never did the grills and back in the 90s and everybody was doing the one gold fake tooth. No, I didn't do that. I had a homeboy that went and got one glued in. They had one of these little strip mall areas. There used to be a place out here called Manhattan's in Southside Plaza, right? Over in Richmond. And they would literally, they had like a box. This shit was hood. They had like a box full of gold teeth, right? Caps to pop on. And the lady or the dude working back there would put it on. And then they would literally sit there with the little Dremel tool and Dremel it until it was the size of your tooth. This when Woo was real big and everybody was getting the fangs and all that. And a lot of dudes I knew got straight gold teeth at the time, like no going back. Their teeth are gold. This was before it was like the dentistry was as good as it is today. You know what I mean? Big square ass teeth don't even look legit in their mouth. But my homeboy gets his cap, and these people, I don't know what these Chinese people put on this, but they put something on his tooth. It was like a squiggle line, and they pushed his cap on. Well, year or so goes by. There's food inside the cap. It stinks. He can't clean it, so he goes to a dentist, and they tear his cap off. Well, wherever they squirted that glue, it took the enamel off of his tooth. And within a matter of a year, he had a big brown tooth in the front of his mouth. So I never did the braids, never did the gold tooth. Venice Beach Surfer, can you take private showers or everyone sees your junk? It depends on what level you're at and what prison you're at. Some prisons, like when you get up into the higher levels, they have single showers because they don't want, you got some of the most despicable. They don't want men in showers in those type of situations together. When you get down to like level 2s, dorm settings, oh no, you're showering and it's 5 shower heads. But a lot of times, if you get in a good dorm and y'all run things like you're supposed to, like nah, or just wait till nighttime when everybody else is taking a shower and go to the shower and pull the chair in front of the opening or something to let somebody know you're in there. A lot of dudes will do that anyway because that's when they go to handle their business. You know what I mean? They go on a date with themselves late night. And dudes know that. Wait till the showers are empty. There's nobody going in there, and they'll put the chair there to let you know, like, don't come in here. So you ain't got to go in there to even do that. You just rather shower by yourself, then you can just wait till late night. Everybody's up front watching TV on their bunks, lay back, watch TV, whatever the case may be. And then you go jump in the shower. But I've been in places, look, first time I went to the House of Corrections in Philly, right? Very first time. I come in, and I've been to CFCF. I'd already been there. I've been through most of the districts out Philly, from the Roundhouse, 55th and Pine, like just all over Philly when it comes to the jails. Whatever part of Philly we was in, that's the jail you're going to, not just where we're from. But I get to the House of Corrections, and I've been in CFCF for a couple of days waiting to come over here, and they bring me over. You go through like a little quarantine block where they test you for TB and all that stuff to make sure you ain't contagious, bringing nothing into the jail. And then you go to the block you're gonna be housed on. So I go over, and I want to say I was on F2, and I come in, I get my cell, I go down, it's another black dude, and it's a black dude in the cell with the same last name named Williams, right? What's up with you? Where you from? What you in here for? We do the whole rundown. Then I go out to see if I know any of these dudes, anybody in there from Southwest, yada, yada, yada. I mean, that type of thing. So I go ahead and I hit the shower, and I go in there, and there's just shower heads everywhere. Now, I've been in a lot of different jails, a lot of different places, a lot of different shower layouts, right? So I go over to the wall, I strip down naked. And when you come in, like keep your eyes up first and foremost. Don't get caught meat gazing. Don't be looking where you ain't supposed to be looking. It's a good way to get punched in your face or labeled. So I come in, I go over to the shower head, I turn it on, I take all my stuff off, boom, I hang it up, I start showering. I hear shower heads turning off, right? And people leaving. I said, what the fuck? Whatever, continue to shower. This dude at this time was like a pod boss. The first cell in there, if people have been locked up there, before you go to that gate, there's one cell right there, and that dude's like the pod boss. He helps run things in there, right? Pokes his head in the shower, and he said, "What up, killer?" And don't say nothing. I ain't expecting nobody to be talking to me. He says it again. He say, "Yo, bro, in the corner, you good?" So I see I'm good. Why, what's up, right? I'm lathered up, soaped up, washing off. He's like, "Bro, you need some boxes or something? Like, you come in with no boxes?" I said, "No, I got boxes. Why, what's up?" He said, "Man, you freaking people out. Like, we shower with our boxes on in here, man. I'm in that bitch butt ball raw squirrel. Like, and like not just in there, just showering. You know what I mean? A lot of these dudes have never been to jail before, much less been to prison. So they showered in their boxes. I'm like, man, I look crazy right now. We just came back from Maryland, so I was out Maryland, DC area. Um, we had to take a family member. We had to go out there to the consulate, and I think it was Germantown, Maryland. We was at to try to get dudes' papers straight, like with the immigration shit. Jack Dean, thank you for the content. You got me through rough times. Hey, I appreciate it. There's times this is good for me too, though. Believe it or not, there's times where I just need to get on here and just talk. Like, I don't have a big social circle. I don't have a lot of people I kick it with. So for me, this is, y'all are my people. There's really no other way to put it. Y'all are my people. What's the craziest thing you've seen in prison? There's a lot of different types of crazy. Like, you got violent crazy, you got crazy, like people that are really crazy, and then you got things you just can't wrap your head around. I've seen some standoffs with the police between dudes that was next level nuts. Like, dudes just snap all the way out and decide today's the day. Like, I'm not going down without a fight. My old Sally crazy. Yeah, that bitch threw the hot pot on the police. And if you don't know, that's a canister with 190-degree water in it that you just walk up, put your coffee cup on, and put the little spout down. He threw that on the police, and them bitches ran out like scalded dogs. They didn't know what to do. They tried to rush him, thinking Shields was gonna do something. He threw that bitch up. He clipped the first shield and doused everybody behind him. Man, I've seen people jump from tears. People try to escape. We had a dude try to escape 6 months prior to going home. Been down some shitty years. I think that dude done like 10, 15 years. He was 6 months from the gate, and that bitch hit the fence. Fresh 5 years on top of it. And the fence cut him to pieces, man. Gotta fast forward through some of the comments. If I miss anybody, I'm sorry. Irish Pride, what's good, homeboy? Salute, Jay. Hey, salute, man. Yeah, War Child got rocked by Brandy. Thank you, Puddle of AIDS. I've been supportive for a long time. How are you tonight? I'm good. I'm good, man. Who had the biggest positive influence on you while you were inside? This go round, it would be my homeboy Suge. Like, Suge he's a street dude. Suge's been in prison, I want to say 5 times, 6 times. He's a street dude for sure, but he's not a violent dude. Like, if it comes to it and that's what's got to happen, that's what he's going to do. But he's not the dude that gets drunk and fights. He's not the guy that's, you know what I mean? He'll laugh at you first before anything. But he really, like, I had a lot of good talks with Suge, and I'm hoping he comes home this year. His brother Bunkin's in the Fed. Bunkin's doing 17 right now in the Feds for, I think it was like 60,000 in cash, 3 guns, and a couple pounds of meth. And me and Suge had a lot of talks. Me and Dirty too. We had a lot of talks. But like, all times would probably be between Smitty or Mr. Peoples. Mr. Peoples was an old black dude, man, a cool ass dude that I became good friends with. that lost his life to cancer while I was in there. I used to have good talk. He had a life sentence. And if you've ever, like when he got diagnosed with cancer, he wasn't, I think I was more messed up behind it, and the other dudes were more messed up behind it than he was. Because we watched him like wither away to nothing. And I remember talking to him one night, and he was like, God is good. And you got to think, at this point, he's like stage 4. Like he's got days. I remember, like, I'm not going to question him on why he's saying what he's saying, but I just kind of look at him, right? Like with that, what does that mean kind of look? He's like, God is good. He answered my prayers, man. He finally answered my prayers. I'm getting out of here. So I guess he prayed to God and said, you know, whatever it takes, man, get me out of here. And got him out of there. Scholar said, I'm from Maryland and come through Powhatan. Okay. Next story is Monday. Is prison like war? I think there's, now I don't want to take anything from the military. We don't get the glory, nor should we get the glory that the services get, right? We're not saying something we signed up for. We signed up for the life, but we'd all left that same day if you told us we could have went home. Not like the servicemen that stayed. But yeah, there's a lot of that. There's that. We talked about this last time. You form a trauma bond with dudes around you. What I mean by that is y'all go through things that only people that have gone through those type of things can relate to. You know, from the day-to-day violence to the just the mental shit that takes place that will almost snap you. You got guys in there that they're trained to go. Just like somebody in the service, they're trained to go at any given moment. They're gonna go. You know, if you jump out there, there's no questions asked. Just like the military would just start firing if you did. There's no questions asked. Your homeboys go. It's just, yeah. And then a lot of prisons are ran very, very militant, very strict, very clean. It's not like the movies like Shawshank. There's older prisons that are still like that. But for the most part, prisons are bright as shit inside, super bright. You know what I mean? They come through, walking through, doing cell inspections, and your bed ain't got to be bounced. You can't bounce no quarter off of it or nothing like that. But you got to have a sheet on, the blanket on. Like there's just yeah, absolutely, man. And then the whole aspect of never knowing when shit's gonna jump off. You know, you go fight the war, you go across seas. One moment things can be normal, and the next moment it can just become complete chaos, or you can hear it. You know what I mean? You can walk out the yard and literally there's a difference in it's hard to explain, man. Just the atmosphere. You notice that certain groups of dudes that usually are very active, loud, running around doing this and that, are quiet and off to themselves. Like it's that split moment of everything is cool and then, oh shit, just everything hits the fan. And if the music's too loud, y'all gotta let me know, because I don't know. I don't think it is, but I've played back lives before where I'm like, damn, that was way too loud. Thank you, Texans. It's a happy Saturday. This one, right? 6'9" says, what was the biggest shock related to technology when you rejoined the real world? Had to feel like you entered the future? There were a couple different things. The day I got out, I came home July 10th, 2014. I'm gonna say it was a Monday. I feel like it was a Monday. Anyways, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time. She's now my wife. She asked me, she's like, are you going to take the bus, or am I picking you up? What are you doing? I said, no. I need to kind of decompress. You know, like I'm coming, all I've known is this for 10 years. It's been a decade. I've been in here. I've seen some terrible things. Like I really need to wrap my mind around the fact that I'm leaving. I'm going home. Like, and I don't want to be in a car being weird. I just need to be by myself for a little while. If that makes sense, right? So the guard at the prison, guard I did not like, puts me in one of the prison vehicles and takes me to the bus station. I had her bring me some clothes up to the prison. You could do that for the day you go home. I didn't want to leave in the prison attire, like, no. So I told her what to bring me, and she did it. So I had that waiting. I changed out right there in the bathroom in the lobby. This dude takes me to the bus station. I told her when she did that, I said, put $20 underneath the sole of my shoe. Don't let them see it because they'll steal it. They'll take it. Make sure it goes under the sole. And she did. So I'm waiting on this bus, and it's like a 2.5 hour wait till the bus gets there. So I go next door. There's a 7-Eleven. I'm in Hampton, Virginia, right? They took me from Chesapeake to Hampton. And I'm coming from Hampton to Richmond. So I go to this little 7-Eleven right there beside the bus station. I get this little 6-pack. You got to mind, you know, I ain't drank. Like, I've drank. Don't get it twisted. I drank in prison. Like, the whole 10 years I was in there, I drank a lot. Made wine, made clear. I did all that, right? Got that T-shirt. So I go to the store. I get this 6-pack. I can't remember if it's Heineken's or Corona. I think it was Coronas. And I step out in this alleyway. I'll buck one of them. Boom. Throw the bottle in the trash. Now I've got this. I can't remember. Why do I feel like I had a backpack? But I couldn't have had a backpack. I feel like I had a backpack. Anyway, this is a long ass time ago, right? I put them in a brown bag, and I go on this. I'm sitting there inside the bus depot, and there's signs everywhere. You know, bags subject to search, alcohol, this, that caught, violators will be prosecuted, put off the bus. That shit freaked me out. I just came from a place where like rules are everything, right? And not that I'm saying I follow all the rules, but the day I get out, I'm not getting jammed up on no dumb shit. So I end up giving them. I go in the bathroom, I throw them away. I think I balked one more. I give them to this black dude. He takes them on the bus and goes in the bathroom and drinks them, right? But I was at the bus station. This is one of the first things that really freaked me out. I was at the bus station, and after I got that 6-pack, I had some change. I still had money left over. I go to the vending machine to get a soda. Now, when I left, you push the button, the damn soda falls out the bottom. Pling, pling, you know what I mean? You stick your arm in the door, you got your soda. I'm looking, and everything's numbered, right? There's not like a little selection screen on the side. So I'm looking, I'm like, all right. So I type in the code, and it tells me, you know, put my money in. So I put the money in, type in the code, and this damn like robot hand thing comes up and starts moving around and grabs the soda. And then it brings it down to the door, and it sits it there, and it unclamps, right? So I'm looking at it. I'm waiting for like the little door to lift up to tell me it's okay to put my hand in there. There's like people standing behind me, and I'm just standing there looking at it, and it ain't lifted up. It ain't opened up to give me my soda. So I start pushing the machine. I'm pushing the refund button. And the lady's like, honey, you all right? I said, look, I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? I said, I've been gone a while. And she could tell, most people could tell. I had that physique, that glow of me that, you know, I just came home. And she's like, hold on. And she reaches over, lifts the little door up and reaches in and get the soda. I was afraid the claw was going to grab my hand. And then the cell phone, seeing everybody with a cell phone, that shit blew my mind. Because when I left and went to prison, like if you had a cell phone, you had money. Like people were still paying for minutes. Like there wasn't all these cheap ass cell phone plans. Like I left, I remember this because the girl I was talking to at the time had just gotten the Razor, right? I'd been locked up like 6 months when that Razor phone came in. That's how long ago it was. And seeing everybody with a phone. I remember we went from Hampton to another bus little depot place and picked some people up on the way to Richmond. And there was a homeless guy standing there with a bicycle, cans all in the front, sign on the front of the bike. And he's behind the sign and he's texting. Like it blew my mind that any and everybody could have a phone. And then the videos, that was another one where you do like a video chat. To me, that was, and I had seen this prior to getting out, but just the fact that you could do it was crazy to me. That was something that like back in the day you seen in movies like Total Recall, or you know what I mean, Back to the Future. Like that was some futuristic shit for you to be on a screen and somebody to be just like I'm doing right now, somewhere else on a screen and y'all talking real time. That blew my mind. That shit blew my mind. That completely blew my mind. All right, diffuse. What flavor vape is this? This is blueberry jam. And then the other one, this is I like the haze lines. I think this is OG skunk or OG skunk 2. One of the two. It's either OG skunk or OG skunk 2. Sound cute by the foot. What's good, my guy? I seen you at the car show today. No, I didn't see you. I seen you posting, going live from there. Did you usually eat 2 or 3 soups at once in prison? I would do a soup and a half, 2 max. That's unless you're making a meal or something, unless you're making some wraps or y'all making a pizza or something. But yeah, I try to use like 1.5 and then maybe half of a seasoning pack. Mitch Connor says it's hard to break your PTSD after being out. You have flashback. It almost sounds like war. It is hard. It is hard. I have an issue that's what I was talking about earlier with the not letting people make me angry, right? I have an issue with not knowing how to, I don't want to say debate. I don't know how to argue in the midst of like shit being heated. That's if me and another grown man get to arguing and we're at the point to where like blood pressure's getting high, there's a split second where, and this is gonna sound crazy, but there's a split second where when shit pops off, I have no control. I've had my ass beat. I've had my ass handed to me. I've done the same. You know what I mean? I've given them and taken them. And it's been a lot of times because my temper just gets the best of me, and I just pop off. I just pop off, and a lot of that is PTSD. There's no arguing. You're not about to be in prison standing there arguing nobody. It's not. It's you only gonna get so many. That's if you're arguing with some goofy, yeah, you might be able to just stand there and argue back and forth. But if you're arguing with somebody who's really on that and about that life, you're not gonna get many words out. You better start defending yourself real quick because you can get punched in your face. The man that talks a lot gets punched in the face, or people think you're talking your way out of it. So I've never been, big on talking since that first situation that ever popped off. I got punched in my mouth when I should have been swinging. I'm not much on talking, and that is 100% a sign of PTSD. When the decimal rises around me, it gets louder around me, and I'm in a group of people, and I don't know what it is. I start to feel like I'm losing control of the situation, and there's not even a situation. Loud noises. I do not like for things to be super. I used to, when I was locked up, I was very, like OCD organized. Like it was annoying how organized I gotten. I got out, and I'm not gonna say that's not a good habit to have, but I got out, and like things not being how I put them, even if I bumped them and moved them, it would bother me. You know what I mean? To where I'd have to get up and adjust it before I could sleep. And then one day I realized I'm like, and that shit ain't about nothing. That ain't no. It's okay to be somewhat know where your stuff's at. You know what I mean? You ain't got to every label the same. There's just a lot, man. There's a lot that goes into it. And I had to literally force myself to stop being like that. My wife's like, it ain't no way you used to be neat. Like I don't see it. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, believe it or not, I was. Just I'm not doing it anymore. I have dreams sometimes. The dreams are bad. In my dreams, there's nothing. It's not like I'm being attacked or anything, or I'm hurting anybody. It's more or less I wake up and I'm there, and I'm just going through the motions of being there, or that I find some way to get out for a short window, and then I realize that like I should have been back, and now I'm going to get all this extra time. Like dreams like that. But as far as the violence, there was a point where I dreamed about it. Seen a lot of bad things, a lot of bad things over the years. Shit that you shouldn't have to see. Shit that most people should never ever have to see. Like you see acts of violence that go way beyond what the average person's ever going to see in their life. Like the average person doesn't see somebody get just, bludgeoned or just hit with a knife 30 times. If you ask a room of people, everybody here raise your hand, and if you've seen a person get stabbed 30 times with a knife, There's usually there might be one person to be like everybody's gonna look at him like, damn. I mean, but you go into prison and ask somebody, everybody raise your hand here, and the whole room's gonna light up with hands. That shit can't do nothing but cause PTSD. I don't like people standing too close to me, people standing behind me. I don't like engaging in beef that's not right in front of my face. Like, not that I want to engage in any beef, but I'm not gonna beef with somebody that's out of my reach. I'm not gonna do that. That's not beef. That's not beef. And the internet taught me a lot. I learned a lot about people from the internet, from being a content creator. Yeah, Jehoias, hey, thank you and salute. Like a lot. I learned that with social media, it's like this, right? People will come at you, and when they start coming at you, that means you're doing something. You're doing something right, or you're doing something wrong. But a lot of times, like I've been told early on, if they're not coming at you, you're nobody, and you ain't doing anything right. But then I also learned, I had to like teach myself that this is the internet. Most people don't want tension. They don't really want tension with you. They want attention. There's a difference between tension and attention. These dudes don't want tension. They want attention, hashtags, mentions. That's what they're looking to get from the beef. And then that's when you really got to look at it like, I would feel like a clown beef with somebody on here. That's not what beef is. I was raised up like real beef. This is I could never consider something like from the internet to, that's not. That's clowning myself. I'm downplaying myself today that I get on here and let me tell somebody about got a situation, got some friction. Who you beefing with? Man, some dude from the internet. Where he live at? I don't even know. I mean, like looking crazy in the face. X Haley said, "What music, books, and movies help pass the time?" Well, this go around. I came out October 27th, a couple of days before Halloween, which is my shit. I love like Halloween, anything horror related. I'm into it. So I legitly spent that last month and I have a paper in my backpack of all the horror movies I watched. That I'm talking about like on TNT, USA, FX, those type of channels, and yeah, horror movies. Any horror movie, I watched everything. Like they would have marathons, Friday 13th, and then this and that. Books. No book I read this time. I read twice, just because it's a great, just a piece of like American just literature is To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird. That and then Abe. The doc, like the story on Abraham Lincoln, and I believe Gerald Ford. But yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird was great, man. Great. Music. I'm in. I call home, and when the music is out, I'm gonna tell you some shit you don't want to download while you're locked up. Rod Wave. Just stay far the fuck away from Rod Wave. Rod Wave will make you fall in love with somebody that don't exist. You talk that talk. I can relate to the cell phone thing. When I came home, seeing everyone on cell phones freaking me out. I thought the feds would follow me. The cell phone is a trick up. That cell phone is a trick up. Like, I met countless guys, and when I say countless dudes just go around, right? When I initially got locked up, they put me on max custody. I got felony charges. My jacket is robbery, malicious wounding, dumb shit when I was young, right? So I did that jail. When you go in there, if that's your background and you come in, you got fresh felonies, you're going max custody instantly. So I go max custody, and within the first few days of really being in there, I realized that the majority of these young dudes in here got bodies. And I'd hear them talking to each other or talking to other dudes. And I'm talking about a bunch. And these are all dudes under the age of 22, 23. There's a couple of dudes like 25, 26. Most of these dudes are youngins, 18 and up, right? And they're facing crazy time. Like some of these dudes got several bodies. And they be asking other people, You ever had a case that had a cell phone involved? Like they said they got me pinged, they pinged my location, and the cell phones are knocking dudes off. Dudes are walking around with their phones in their pocket, some shit jumps off, they handle it, or they leave from somewhere and go somewhere knowing they're gonna do something with the phone in their pocket. As soon as they become a suspect, the first thing that the police do is they subpoena the phone records. I don't even think now they don't even have to subpoena them. I think they can just get them. They can call in and get them. And instantly, where was you at? Oh, they look at your cell phone record, and your cell phone record shows you weren't at your grandma's house. You wasn't at your baby mama's house. You wasn't here. You wasn't there. It shows you're there. So now they know you've lied. So now they know they've got their suspect. Devin Shea Lowe said, I've been watching you for 3+ years. It's the first live I've caught. Much love to Chesterfield, VA. Hey, home team. Appreciate you. Prison's whacker than ever. And not that it's ever been cool, but there was a time where like it wasn't like it is now. Dudes are just all the way junkied out. Like bad. And I'm not, hey, to each his own. I understand people got, they got demons they fight. Trust me, I get it. But this isn't just this is everybody. I remember getting up in the middle of the night one time, and this was on this last one. And I went from Nottoway to State Farm, right, which is Old Deep Meadows, and that's a dorm environment. I ended up, I'm back in there on a loop. You know what I mean? And it's been 10+ years since I've been in trouble. So I'm going to the bathroom one night, and I get up, and they have these red lights on in the ceiling. They turn the white lights off at night, and they turn these red lights on in the ceiling. And I'm going to the bathroom, and I remember just seeing dudes sitting on their bunk, right, like Indian style, like looking around, because you're not gonna be up just walking around. Dudes asleep, and you walking by their head, cutting in between their cuts, all that shit. Lay your ass down somewhere. You know what I mean? We don't need you up just creeping people out, walking around at night. So you got dudes that are tweaking, all the way gone off their glass. And these dudes would be in the bathroom when they're smoking this shit off the tape, off the back of the dryer, the foil tape. They burn the glue off that shit in the bathroom, bubbling. Which when I left DOC the first time, dudes were still doing like narcotics. They were doing dope. They were doing, heroin, crack, like whatever came in is what was gonna get done, right? No matter what it was gonna get sold because you got it. It's there. You ain't got to go find it or whatever, right? This go around and be straight synthetic, man. It was strips, and I'm talking the strips. Dudes were cutting off like eyelashes. You know what I mean? Like here, cut an eyelash off of it and get somebody for $2. And then the meth was next level. I thought meth was like, from where I'm from, that's more of a white thing. You don't usually see like black dudes strung out on meth. Hell no. I hit DOC and it was a everybody thing. Like dudes were just. Then they'd smoke some K2 and flock all the way out. Just do some crazy shit. Whack is a bitch, man. Super whack. I gotta fast forward. I'm way back on the comments. If I missed you, I'm sorry. Pickle Rick said, what do you think of the quality of the trees now compared to the bricks we used to get? That brick pack, that little ass bud be like this. You'll break that bitch open, that bitch will fluff up, 150 seeds fall out. You gotta shift that bitch inside the sneaker box. It's much better. And that's, Virginia's legal, right? So it's a legal state, it's recreational and medical, but they've still yet to open up the market for distribution. That's supposed to be coming this year. That was one thing I like when I go to other places, like being out in Maryland. Everywhere I turned, there was a dispensary. But the trees they got now, I smoke. I'm a heavy smoker, man. I smoke like regularly, like all day. I smoke, and some of that shit is just. Look, it's like this. You're not supposed to smoke weed and feel like you just ate a damn Xanax. And some of the trades they got out there is that strong. Like you smoke that shit, you be like, damn, I had shit to do. Back then, like, we was, doming blunts back to back. So yeah, it's definitely come up in the weed game. Irish Pride said them $50 OZs, bricks and siege. Hey, look, and we were getting them dirt cheap, right? At a home, but it had a plug, and we were getting them so cheap. And I was never really good at selling weed. That's why I started selling other shit, right? All right, I'm not going to smoke crack. That's just a known fact. You know what I mean? Most of the people I know have, right? I couldn't get past the smell of it. And not only that, I had like shit happen to me when I was a kid that made me just hate that drug, right? When I say like nothing crazy, no sexual assaults, nothing like that, but like family members and other people like just messed up on crack and decided to beat up a kid. You know what I mean? Just weirdo ass dudes, man. So I never liked that, right? So that was something I could sell, and it's guaranteed I'm gonna get all my money back unless I cut somebody a deal or I break one of the rules and do a front and somebody runs off with a dub or something, right? But with the weed, I always sold weed, but I was terrible at it. Not terrible at selling it, just like terrible at the fact that I was smoking so much of it. A lot of times I was just selling weed to re-up. But we were getting that shit. Say I was getting it $35, $40 for a zip back then. I would legitly sell two $20 quarters and then smoke the other half. Smoke the other half. But that's how that shit was. You ain't smoking this new shit like that. The shit I got, you ain't gonna sit there. You're not smoking blunt after blunt after blunt. You're not. Back then, man, at Reggie, shit. Pass me the Hayes Skinny Pimp. Said we watch from West Baltimore. Thanks for the content. Me and my grandfather watch every morning getting ready and shit. And man, I appreciate y'all. Tell your grandfather I said what's up, man. Change this. Let's just don't get on my nerves. Maryland was cool other than we left VA and it was sunny skies, right? I'm on the interstate and it starts snowing. By the time we got to the Fairfield Inn, there was probably 5 inches of snow on the ground. Woke up the next morning, there's just snow everywhere. That's that same weekend. New York got hit, Jersey got hit, Philly got hit, and it went all the way down into Maryland and then kind of tapered off when it got to VA. Michael Volunteer says, started watching you as a CO years ago. Still watch you today as a state trooper in West Virginia. Much love. Appreciate you watching, man. Appreciate you. Do you mind if I asked? I watched you a while back and you and your wife took in a little girl. Wonder how she's doing. She's amazing. She's upstairs, sleep in her bedroom. She has been with us over 4 years now. We have full custody. Great child. We love her like she's ours. She's 7. Goes to private school with my son. Their classes on the same hallway. That's her big brother. That's his little sister. They're thick as thieves, man. They're thick as thieves, and she lives a good life. She lives a good life. She's upstairs in her Barbie bed with lights twinkling on the ceiling, and her little fan sounds on, and she's knocked out. She's great though. We finalized everything as far as the custody case went, and because it's just, yeah, that's all complete. It's all complete, man. She's with us. She'll always be with us. She's family. A couple years back, well, I wouldn't say a couple years, about a year and a half ago, I had to go get her from school. So I went to the classroom and I asked her teacher, and they knew I was coming. I knocked on the door. I said, I'm here to get Bella. So she brings her to the door, and she's like, oh, my Uncle Jay, right? And she gives me a hug, and the other little kids kind of look at her. And I don't know if somebody said something to her or if it was just the way she feels. I don't try to pry. But one day she was sitting on the bed, and she said, why do I call you Uncle Jay? And I said, I guess I'm something like your uncle. I'm not your uncle. You're my cousin's child. So whatever that is, second, third, whatever, right? They're all that's confusing. So you just say uncle. And the sweetest shit, man. She said, but you're not my uncle. You're my dad. And I looked at her, and I kind of smiled. And she said, I don't want to call you Uncle Jay. You're dad. Like, you're my dad. And I said, well, you call me what you want to call me. So it went from that to dad. And that's who I am. I'm dad. When she's sick, I take her to the doctor. When she don't feel good, I'm taking chicken noodle soup upstairs and crackers. When she falls down, I pick her up. I make sure she's got everything she needs. So yeah, I am dad. JT856, appreciate you. He said, my uncle is doing 60 in Trenton. Damn. Your uncle's doing life. He's been down for 20, not eligible for any early release. You think anything can change and he can come home sooner? Laws are always changing. But I'm gonna tell you this, they change, but they're not changing for dudes with violent crimes. So if you rob somebody, beat somebody up, whatever it is, sent you to prison. If it was violent, when laws do change, they're not just gonna start changing laws to let violent criminals get out any sooner. They're just not. I know because I went through it. I was what was considered a violent criminal. When they came in and they implemented the 65% law, everybody was hyped up, right? Damn, you got dudes that are doing 60 years at 85%. They're doing 85% of 60 years. That's the earliest they can get out, is when they've completed 85 years of 60, right? 85% of 60. So they came in with this law where they were like, we're now going to do 65%. I remember my homeboy Pakistan, right? Straight savage. Dude was just fucking savage. But I remember him counting some numbers one time. He was like doing the math. Me and a couple of dudes standing there, and he's like in his head and he's talking math, right? And he said, Jay, you good at math? I said, pretty good, man. And he's like, all right, well, if I take this and this and this, how much time is that? And I think it was like, shit, man. It was like 58, 54, something like that. I was like, that's like 58 years. He was like, hell yeah. Right. And at this point, he's like every bit of 35, 40 years old. He's like, so I still got a chance at going home. Oh. And he had been down a good 20 years. I said, oh, this man just got excited that he's only got 58 more years left. But then they came in and said the 65 doesn't work for non-violent. For violent, only non-violent. And yeah, let a lot of dudes down. I've seen dudes that really, like in their heart of heart, believe that they're gonna get out early. Guys with life sentences that took people's lives, killed people, like in heinous ways. Like, I've changed. They're gonna let me out one day, bro. You ain't got parole. They abolished parole in Virginia in 95. So if you got sentenced, I think it was after July of 95, your ass was not parole eligible. So life means life. There's no chance you're getting out. Not to say now that somebody couldn't come along one day in this state or your state and say, look, we're going to bring back parole, or we're going to do this or do that. But as far as like lowering the sentence guidelines for violent felons or giving them an earlier release, that's not something they're looking to do. No. I'm not trying to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you, I've been in that system. Is everybody flopping on K2 in prison still? Hell yeah. Hell yes. It's bad. It's bad. I seen a dude at Nottoway that was the most docile, non-violent type dude you could ever meet. He's the type of dude that if you looked around in the room and you're like, who's the one dude in here that I could just slap the shit out of that wouldn't do nothing? He would be that guy in every room. Well, he goes in a cell and gets to smoking K2. That's what we call it, deuce, sped. It's got a bunch of different names, right? But he goes in a cell, he's smoking the K2 with the dude. And they come out and they're standing underneath the staircase. And this place was so wide open that dudes would legitly just sit up against the wall and smoke it. The guard be in the control booth be banging on the wall, or banging on the glass, like, man, put the shit out. You see me right here, right? It was wide open with this shit. Like to the point that sergeant would come in and be like, yeah, man, y'all can at least, you know what? I gotta lock somebody up. I came in, I seen 5 different dudes, y'all just smoking in front of me, right? Anyways, dude goes in the cell and he smokes with this Latin King dude. And there was another dude that had shot a dude out the window of his house that was in that cell too, right? He had just gotten there. I knew him from the jail. And this young dude comes out, the one I told you anybody would slap, and he's walking with his Latin King dude. And he's like doing this weird shit with his head, where he's moving his head all weird. He starts yelling. Like it starts off as like a little moan, like if somebody was hurt. And he just starts screaming, like at the top of his lungs, screaming. And the Latin King dude tries to get him to go back to the cell. Like you're drawing, like they got to call medical in here. And he starts ushering this dude toward the cell, and this little dude turns around and opened and slapped the shit out of dude. I mean, like, it was a good one. It was one you'd have been proud to land on. Somebody caught him. Dude ended up fucking him up. And then after the whole thing was over, like, he drugged the dude into the cell by his feet and everything, beat the shit out of him. But after the whole thing was over, like, dude was like, he couldn't explain why he did what he did. He said he don't even remember doing that. So yeah, they're still in that bitch. Yeah. Going crazy behind it. T-Bag girl, salute. Curtis Bailey, give Baltimore a shout out. We flowing the channel. Hey, much love to you, Curtis Bailey, and much love to all of Baltimore. Shout out to B More. Zantel said, you ever think of doing tattoos on the outside since that was your thing on the inside? I've done tattoos. Like when I first came home from prison, that's what I did. That's how I got my money. That was how I started my construction company, was tattooing, like legitly stacking the money I got from that is how I started. I've done some since I've been out this go around. Like I've got all my tattoo equipment upstairs. Robert Ross said in Cali, it's 85%, even for violent felons, and still got parole out here. See that we don't got that. We got 60. You can get 65% non-violent. If you've ever had a violent charge on your record, you're never going outside of a gate. You're never gonna be on a level 1. The lowest, if your points drop enough, you can go to like a level 2 yard, which there it's more fighting than anything. When you get to the level 2, a lot of dudes are short timers. They got gate passes. Like you catch a wreck, it's usually gonna be inside the pod. You know what I mean? You're taking the bathroom and rumble back in one of the cuts. You get up higher than that, that's when shit really starts to fucking get active. That's when you start seeing all them knives. But yeah, it's 85% for violent, 65 nonviolent, and no parole. Which the no parole thing to me is crazy. But at the same time, I know dudes that are old law that have been down since parole was abolished that they'll never get parole, but because they go up for it every year, they live a certain different way. They think that if they stay out of trouble or they avoid conflict or you know what I mean, do this, take this program, or sign up for this, sign up for that, that it's going to help them with their parole one day. And the truth of the matter is, it's not. You know, not wishing bad, but the fact of the matter is, I've seen it too many times. It's not. The dude that usually gets parole is the guy that nobody really thinks about. I mean, you're not going to go from putting in work and you know push this blade on this and this and this to just boom getting out. Like you've got to really show and prove. And then there's some dudes that crimes just don't. They gave them the option of parole, but it's never going to come. It's never ever going to come. I got a home. I'm not going to say his name, but he ended up going to prison and then escaping. This is an older dude, right? At the time, with still good friends with this day, but he ended up going to prison and then escaping. He got with this chick named Cookie, this black chick, and then ended up going to somebody's house that he had beef with while he had escaped, and just walked in the man's house and blew him in half, right? And then got sent back to prison, and then got so uncontrollable that they ended up sending him to another state because he's already got a life sentence, but he still got that little option of parole. I think they took it away. I don't think he no longer has the option of parole now. But yeah, man, dudes will have just that little ray of sunshine, hope that they're gonna go home one day and act completely different. Now, it's the dudes with no parole that have nothing to lose, that they know 100% facts they're gonna die in there. That you just, you know, I ain't gonna say stay out of their way, but they're probably not. It's not the brightest idea to go picking fights with those dudes. And if it comes, it comes. But those are, and you'd be surprised. Sometimes you get dudes that are just, they're wired different. There's something wrong with him. That bitch got a year and he's in here acting like he's doing life, like crashing out every 5 minutes. Like, did gangs ever try to recruit you? Said Glory Crawled. Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you've been in there long enough and dudes have seen you, you know, do shit or get into it with somebody and actually fight. Yeah, they're gonna approach you because that's what they want. They want dudes that are gonna fight. They want dudes that don't nobody want a gang full of bitches. What is that? You know what I mean? They want dudes that are gonna fight. So yeah, I've been approached, but it was never my thing. This is my stance on the whole gang thing, right? I've been alone my whole life. I ain't never had no big brother to run to, no cousins to run to. There was never anybody to go get except my homeboys from the neighborhood, right? And even then, we wasn't no gang. 99.9% of my life, if there was any type of beef or conflict, I handled it myself. I didn't, you know, or with a weapon, you know what I mean? Whatever it took, but I never had no big group of guys backing me up, right? So to go into prison and in my mid-20s, go join a gang, I feel like that shit would be smutting everything I've ever been through. Like it would just stain my entire name. Like, no, this is all I know. I like being alone. I move best when I'm alone. Jay, what do you think about a man being gay for this day? My ex-husband was in prison and I was told he was gay for this day. Your ex-husband is gay. That's just what it is. That's a term dudes use to try to not be judged by others. But here's you're gay. That is what it is, man. People, you're not gonna get aroused if it's not something you're attracted to. And getting locked up's not gonna change that. If you don't like that, you're not gonna like that. Gay is gay. If both of y'all, no. Mm. And I've heard that a lot. She may just shank out of home. I used to get the side of the bunk. Like they had this metal box welded underneath it, and that bitch was welded with like angle iron. And there was a way to get it off. We get that shit off, and jeez. So if you could get the one off the back, that shit was probably 20 inches. If you could get the one off the side, you broke the bottom bracket off. That was about 14 inches, 16 inches. I like plexiglass, like thick, sharp plexiglass. And one of the biggest reasons is when you have somebody's got you're at a place with a lot of metal detectors. If you beep, them bitches will pull you right over to the side hallway and strip you, or pull you into another room and strip you. That plexiglass ain't gonna never beep, ever. And it's also one of those weapons that if you hit somebody with it and you get it deep enough, you can push it and break it. And so now the wound can't fully close up because it's got this chunk hanging out of it, or the chunks in it, and it's just the top is open like a little mouth. Plexiglass is serious, and it's not that hard to get your hands on. They have plexiglass signs everywhere. There's a mop closet in there. It says mop closet. Make sure you put the stuff back in the closet, and that paper that's on the wall is screwed up there with a piece of plexiglass over it. She said, I knew it. He's gay. He's gay. I just couldn't look, man. I couldn't. I told dudes. Early on, I had a homeboy X. I did a story on this, right? And X was my right hand man. X was doing a shitload of time for robberies. He had his sawed-off shotgun he used to rob dudes out Richmond with, right? And I kicked it with X for months. I mean, months. This is a muscle-bound ass black dude, about the same height as me, nice with the clippers, right? I'd already done prison time in the past. My homeboy. Then we get a boy in the pod, and when that boy comes in, and like it's gonna reveal these dudes. We ain't even in prison yet. We are in jail, right? Which makes it even crazier. The boy goes in, they bring the boy in, they put him on the top tier. I was on the top tier, but I was further down the tier, right? It's like an L-shaped tier. And X is on the bottom. He comes up to the cell, the boy's over there putting his stuff up. And I don't focus too much on the boys. I mean, it's just part of being locked up. So what I'll do is I'll focus on other people. If I want to know who I'm surrounded by and who gets down like that and who's been faking it, all you gotta do is look around. You can catch dudes like Clemson doing this and that. It's one thing in looking in that direction, another thing to like trying to be sneaky about it, right? X comes to my cell and they used to sell these pouches of Tang on the commissary, the Tang drink mix, Jolly Ranchers, all that shit, right? Some of the best shit you can make wine with. It's good cut. Comes to the cell and he's like, let me hold this and this till store day. And that's nothing out the ordinary with X. It was my guy. He'd always give it back. I say, I got you. I was reading a book. I got up, slid the stuff underneath the door. And then I remember he don't even drink that Tang shit. He never drank Tang. He didn't like it. So I'm like, the fuck you want with the Tang? Because he usually gets the Kool-Aid pouch. I watch him. He goes down and he slides that shit underneath the door to the boy. And I just step back. Blown away. Had no clue. And the days to come, like, he's with the boy all the time. He's at the boy's cell. He's laughing. He's up in there. I'm like, man, this shit's crazy right here, right? This is pre-prison. I hadn't been in prison yet and, like, really went down the shock of shit that goes on like that. But I stopped talking to him. He comes up to the table one day. He's like, damn, you don't fuck with me, homeboy? I said, no, I'm chilling, man. Like, they been real quiet. Like I said, what's up to you earlier? You ain't saying anything. You just kept moving. And I had to just tell him, like, I can't fuck with you, man. I can't even talk to you. We can't do none of that. Like, the friendship shit is dead. The moment you went and got a boy, I can't co-sign that. That's not what I do. You know what I mean? No offense to anybody does that. If that's what you do, that's what you do. But I can't co-sign that because then other people gonna look at me like, that's what I do. You ain't about to smut my name. That shit ain't about to happen. He tried to argue with me. I got time. It's because I'm locked up. No, it's not, bro. It's because you're gay. It's because you're gay. Stop it. Miss me with that shit. Just be real. Be real to who you are, man. James Adams said, "What's good, fam? Was the most unexpected act of kindness you saw or experienced in prison?" That's a good question. That's not a place you see kindness like that. I've seen more than one occasion where somebody fought a fight for somebody that couldn't fight, just couldn't fight, and then people not even be friends. Just somebody get tired of seeing somebody get bullied and come over and be like, "Well, if you really want to smoke and just take off on them and a little scared, dude, just walk away unhurt." I've seen that a bunch of times. I'm trying to think, man. I know Thomas Hainsworth, right? I've talked about Thomas quite a bit. I was locked up with him. He did a lot of time, 20 some years, almost 30 years for 2 crimes he didn't commit. He had a homeboy, light-skinned dude that was big in the church, little box haircut that he used to kick it with all the time. And I remember when they came back, DNA evidence proved, like after almost 30 years, that he was not the guy that, raped 2 women one night. He was not the guy that did this. It wasn't him. He was just the guy walking to the store that got snatched up that fit a description from a woman that, just picked him out of a lineup. Like, and she said later on, she said she just, she thought he did, but then to look back at it, she don't really remember much of what he looked like. It just could have looked like him, whatever. He returned after getting out and being, exonerated and all that, to kick it with that dude that he was friends with. And I would see him every time. It was never a time I went to the visiting room that he wasn't over there kicking it with his homeboy, that he didn't come back up to the prison on the weekend and sit there and kick it with his homeboy. Always took care of his books, made sure that dude had anything he needed, because dudes had shunned him. You know what I mean? Like, dudes wasn't messing with him like that. And because he had bad charges. Everybody's innocent when it comes to those type of charges, right? All sex offenders, they're innocent. They didn't do it. I was 17 or I was 18. They all got a story, right? I've met 2 dudes in all my time that admitted to what they did, right? But he was one of those dudes that always contested he didn't do it. He didn't do it. But just because of his charges, dude, just stay away from him. I mean, like, nah, I'm not fucking with that dude, man. No, he can't do none of this. Like, no, you're blackballed. You're 86. Like, you're no good. This dude, I guess, like, his homeboy, like, I don't know, man. I don't think he ever wanted to believe it. And because of that, once he went home, he always made sure he took care of that dude ever since. That's a crazy thing to be locked up for and be innocent of. And he came in. I think he was just a teenager when he came in. So could you imagine coming into prison? He went into a rough prison. I think he started out in the Wall also, which was the Virginia State Penitentiary at the time, right? Springer Street. And this place has just got a reputation of just murder. Like, you're gonna see murders and old school, just multiple tears. You look straight up in the air and it's just tears everywhere. To go in a place like that at that age with those type of charges is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. Like, yeah, man, but found innocent. Story about the dude who was in your cell talking about the mamas and the papas. Crazy. I remember that was a crazy ass situation. God's honest truth, my first thought about that dude, just when I seen the drool coming out of his mouth and old food on the front of his jumper and just lint in his beard and his face just all disheveled, and he's talking to himself and he's rocking. I'm thinking, man, this bitch is gonna come up off that bench and I'm like, ping his ass up. Like, I stood up against the wall and I'd already told myself, he comes up off that bench acting crazy, I'll fuck his ass up in his holding cell. But then after a couple minutes, I realized, like, dude was no threat, man. He was like a child. He was legitimately like a child in his head. It's very sad that they beat him up. Very sad that they locked him up. It's like a child. Did you ever be with some cats from Louisiana? I've been with dudes from all over. Virginia's one of those places that you have to go through Virginia to get where you're going if you're on the East Coast. So if you're like Florida to New York or here to there, a lot of people get knocked off from Virginia. Virginia State Police don't play. Don't be in some out of state tags and be doing 6 miles over the speed limit. They're gonna pull you over just on the fact you're out of town. Like if anything looks off, your DWB driving while black, whatever the case may be. Like Virginia's their police, their state police especially, are grabbing people from out of town. And prisons I met so many dudes that weren't from Virginia that were doing time there. So yeah, I've done time with all types of dudes. I must have met 25 New Yorks in 10 years. I guarantee I met at least no exaggeration, at least 20 New Yorks, 10 aces. Like I don't know how many killers I've met. The weather like up there, it's been in the 70s. It's supposed to be 80 something midweek. I uncovered I went out there the other day, went ahead and took the cover off the pool, getting it ready. Yeah, he died. That dude did die later. They got the mamas and the papas dude. He did. I think we'll go to an hour and a half and then I'm gonna bounce out. I'd have turned into an old head. I need sleep. Change the beat up. It's the most respect you ever saw someone gain in prison without fighting. We had a dude named 6ix9ine, right? Not because of like the rapper 6ix9ine, but the bitch was 6'9", that pretty much everybody respected. And he didn't have to fight. He didn't have to do anything. The bitch is sick. You 6'9". 6'9". Like everybody respected the dude. Everybody. And I'd heard little stories about way back in the day, this and that, but I never seen that dude so much as raise his voice. And y'all feel old that you're hanging out. Hold on. Instead of at the bars, the clubs on a Saturday night, I think I kind of feel old, but then again, probably safer at home. Yeah, facts. That stuff's played out. Bars are played out, the clubs played out. And everybody's got a gun now. Everybody's got a gun now. So you might get popped by a 70-year-old Chinese man that you made feel scared, you know what I mean? Or a 16-year-old kid. But everybody's got a gun. Nobody wants to fight no more. Everybody's got a gun. So when you go into a situation with a gun, then that's usually where it goes. If you loading your clip up with your bandana because you don't want to leave no shell casings on the ground, then you probably end up leaving some shell casings on the ground. Or should I say fingerprints on them shell casings? A couple weeks back, man, we had two people coming out of the clubs out here get killed. And I don't think they were even involved in what was going on. They found like 50 some shell casings on the ground. That's crazy. And I don't even like, unless I'm like going out with the family to do something or we got plans, I'd rather be at home. Like, spend all this money to live somewhere and then not be here? No, I'd rather be at home. Once I realized I was cool with being at home and didn't want to be out like that no more, that's when I went ahead and got everything I needed at the house. everything I need. Like I don't have I have a lake, in-ground pool, 8-man hot tub, like 5 bedrooms, 3.5 baths. Like I don't need to go anywhere. I'm great. AC said, "Thanks for the live, Jake. Good to hear you and your family are doing well. Good night. Hey, much love, AC, and good night. Thank you for popping in again, man. Thank you for always showing me. Yeah, I know where Hagerstown is. Why do I feel like was we in Hagerstown? Did we go through Hagerstown? Let me check something real quick. Let me check this address. No, this is Germantown. We were out that way though. OJ Cat One said, "You ever meet another inmate from outside the USA, Mexico, or the regular spots someone might come from?" Yeah, the dude Chop that did my back was deported at the end of his bid, and he went to. He was. I always thought he was Mexican, to be honest, but I come to find out he was Guatemalan, and he had a big ass MS tattooed on the side of his head. And he got deported. This last go round, the jail I was in, Pamunkey Regional, had a federal holding facility also. They had a federal contract. So a lot of the dudes that were mixed in with us were there with Fed cases. And if you look it up off the somewhere off the East Coast, I think it was 2024, 2023, 2 U.S. Marines, Navy SEALs lost their lives boarding this boat that was filled with weapons that was going from Turkey to Yemen, right? Supplying weapons. They had these dudes on there. And there was 4 of them dudes in my pod that didn't speak a lick of English. Like, the dudes didn't speak no English. They were learning English from being in there, right? And the one dude, like, I was telling him one day, I said, "Your ass going to prison, bitch. You a terrorist." And he's like, "No, fishermen. I said, "Man, fishermen my ass, bitch. They got warheads, like crates of guns. Like, your ass is, you can go look it up. 2 Navy SEAls die boarding vessel, leaving Yemen or Turkey, one of those 2 things, right? I don't know how much time those dudes got. And all their names were Muhammad. No bullshit. All 4 of their names were Muhammad something, right? So yeah. Done quite a bit of time with dudes that weren't from the U.S. Jay, what's the most dangerous part of Richmond? A lot of dangerous projects. For me, it's Southside. Southside's got a lot of different projects, but you got the Hillside, Guilford Court, Creighton Court, Jackson Ward. Like, if it looks like it was put up in the 50s or the 60s, avoid it. If it's a whole bunch of shit connected, looks like it's been there for a long time, there's courtyards all around it, avoid it. Black Pound, a scale from 1 to 10, what's the prettiest female guard you've seen? 10. I've seen quite a few 10s. We had Miss Porsche up there, right? And Miss Porsche was bad, like bad. This chick, she's sleeping with a dude, Chop, right? And Chop sleeping with the boy. And the boy goes to the pill window and gets a ginormous cup of medication, we call them Skittles. And the only time you would really see somebody get that many pills is when they're HIV positive. I mean, it would be a whole concoction of pills. And there'd be this one big ass pill this dude always try to choke down or swallow, right? She was a straight dime piece and was messing with a dude that wasn't never coming home. That she's messing with this dude, like sleeping with this dude, and this dude is straight raw dogging the boy, man. That's HIV positive. And she was a dime all day long, like until I found that out. Like, oh man. I'm good, Philly Mike. Liza, what's good? Welcome in. I think after this, I'm gonna take a little break. It is 12:30. I'll probably take a little break and then jump over to TikTok for maybe an hour, hour and a half or so. So if you ain't doing nothing, y'all come through. If not, get some sleep. Saturday. I don't do a lot of lives. TikTok, that's what you do on TikTok. But I don't do a lot of lives. My YouTube viewers, that's not their thing. I get a lot of comments that say, love the videos, not big on the lives. And I get it. This is why I just come in and just answer questions, man. Just talk, pass some time. We have a bunch of blood and Crip dudes here in Tulsa, Oklahoma that are white. I thought Bloods don't recruit white dudes. It's kind of confused. That's changed. I used to think the same thing too, but I seen it this go around with dude. Like, no, that's changed. Night out in the house. Martin Goose in the sound pain right now. Jay, keep talking. Say, what's up, Jay? What's something that made your day this week? My little boy coming in there and getting in the bed in the middle of the night. He's 8. He'll be 9 this year, so he's done got too damn big. But yeah, that was cool to wake up with him on my shoulder. How much time have you done in total? Oh. Definitely over 15. Way over 15. Like all those skid bids and fighting cases. I fought a lot of cases. A lot of cases. I took a lot of cases to trial. Like, let's go. Like, let's see what happens. And that shit, that you can sit down for 8, 9 months, fighting a case. Some places, I've heard other places, dudes fight cases for years. I was in house correction and CSCF with dudes that have been fighting the same case for years. Well, I'm gone, y'all. That's it. We're gonna wrap this up. And another one. Still working on the podcast before we go. And it's took a lot of thought to like who I really. The podcast isn't just a podcast, it's also employment for guys that I bring on regularly. Like they start to get a bag. Because the podcast is something I'm hoping to do that's going to branch outside of the prison genre. It's going to branch outside of what it is we've been doing. Entertain, have fun, bring like-minded people up, and have real conversations about real shit, especially shit going on in the world. You know what I mean? Just everyday shit. And I think I pretty much narrowed it down to who it is. I'm gonna bring on board, so I'm excited. I just don't want to rush into nothing and not be right. Because once I do that, that's the next step of this career, this journey. But yeah, y'all make sure y'all come check me out on TikTok. I'll be over there here in a little bit. Just need to take a little break, but till next time, man, you already know what it is. Salute.